Hi, my name's Victoria Maxfield and I'm a business psychologist. Today I want to talk about a few questions that you can ask yourself when you're doing job descriptions to try and remove some of the discrimination that could potentially be creeping in there. So there's just a few quick questions that you might want to keep in mind. And the first one is, does the job have to be performed in standard hours? So at the moment we have a bit of a default towards 9 to 5 and potentially to 35-hour stroke 40-hour week. But not all jobs need to be performed within these hours, and this can open the job up to people with different requirements. So for instance, travelling on public transport in rush hour can be quite challenging for disabled people, and it can make it difficult for them to stand up for long periods of time. In addition, standard hours can also be difficult for people with caring responsibilities. Allowing people to work outside of standard hours can help with this. So unless a task absolutely has to be performed at a particular time, try and think about being more flexible with the start times of the job role. Leading on to this is, does it have to be full-time? As I said, I think we've got a bit of a default to assuming that jobs can be performed or need to be performed within 40-hour working week, but not all jobs require this. So have a think about whether it can be performed with shorter hours. If it is essential and the job does require a certain amount of work, potentially consider whether this could be done by a job share. A lot of organisations these days are moving towards job shares, and there's a huge amount of benefit of having two people doing the same job. So consider whether this is something that you could think about in your roles. One of the biggies is consider whether the characteristics of the people that are currently in the role are actually necessary for success in the role. So this is a big part of when we do job descriptions. We tend to inadvertently think about the people that are currently in the role and who are currently successful in that role, and we describe the characteristics that they hold. Now, this is a completely acceptable way of doing a job description, just so long as those characteristics are actually the thing that makes them successful in that role. But we need to be quite careful about making sure that, because otherwise we tend to then bring in just characteristics of the people that hold the job before them. Now, given that we're moving away from a period of where the working world was quite male dominated, this can really help us if we open our minds up to maybe those characteristics are just something that they happen to have. So yeah, if you think about those questions when you're putting together your job descriptions, that helps you. It doesn't completely eradicate it, but it does help you eradicate some of the discrimination that might be creeping in there. Well, thanks for listening. If you've got any questions, just please reach out. Thank you.